Let us talk about epidermal tissue or epithelial tissue. Epithelial tissues are the first ones to be formed when embryonic development is taking place in embryo. They form covering of any organ. The covering will be outside as well as inside. They form covering of an organ. Suppose let's take up any organ, say let's take up stomach. So stomach, every organ will have a wall. Every organ will have a wall. Some organs will have thick wall, some will have thin wall. Like organ or duct or vessels, everything will have a wall, because without wall, how will the structure be formed? This wall is made up of epithelial tissue, and epithelial tissues are lying on the outside. Outside is there, it forms a line of epithelial tissue as well as inside. So it is lining both the surfaces, and always keep it in mind, one end will be free. One end, that means one end of epithelial tissue will be exposed to external environment. So external environment or internal environment of the tissue. This is the internal environment, this is the external environment. So epidermal tissue will be on both the sides of the wall that is of the organ. It will have epithelial tissue on outside as well as inside. So the feature will be one side of the epithelial tissue is exposed. Isn't it? One side of epithelial tissue is exposed. This is exposed to external environment. Whatever it is inside the body, but it is external to the organ. So it is exposed to the external environment. And this side is exposed to the internal environment. So either it will be exposed to external environment or it will be exposed to internal environment. But the thing is, one side of epithelial tissue will always be exposed. So that's one feature. Then other feature is like epithelial cells are placed very close to each other. Epithelial cells are placed very close. Like if we see from top, we will see something like this: hexagonal, polygonal, oval, whatever shape they can be, but they are fitted very tightly. They are fitted end to end without any intercellular space. They don't have any intercellular space. The cells are closely placed without any intercellular space. Intercellular space is also known as extracellular space. So here we see that the cells are placed very tightly. They are tightly packed, and they have nucleus. So nucleus is prominent. So this is another feature. One feature was they form covering of the organ, and one side is always exposed. Secondly, the cells are placed close to each other without any intercellular space. Third important point about epidermal tissue is that, say this is the tissue, if we see from side, so this is the tissue, these are the cells of the tissue. They will be lying on a membrane. They will be lying on a membrane. It's a very important characteristics of epithelial cell, that the cells are placed on a membrane. This is known as basement membrane. This is epidermal tissue, and this is lying on a basement membrane. So this membrane will be non-cellular. It is not made up of any cell. It is jelly-like substance, but they will always be present. So next important point is epidermal cells are always placed on basement membrane. So these are some of the important points of epidermal tissue. So they are compactly placed without any extracellular space or fluid. They have basement membrane under them, and free surface is exposed. So these are the important characteristics. And one more thing, epithelial tissue or epidermal cells, they are also known as pavement. They are also known as pavement tissue. Why? They are also known as pavement tissue. Sometimes you might be asked questions like this, because they are placed like tiles fitting end to end, isn't it? They are placed fitting end to end. So it's like tiles of a pavement. So the epithelial tissue is also known as pavement tissue. So these are the characteristics of epithelial tissue. Now we shall see what are the types of epithelial tissue. I hope you have understood the three characters. Let us recap once again. Number one, they form the covering of an organ, and one side of epithelial tissue is always exposed to external or internal motion of the organ. The cells are closely packed without any intercellular space, and epidermal cells are always resting on basement membrane. So these are the three important qualities of epidermal tissue. Types of epithelial tissue. Types. To speak of types, epithelial tissues are broadly of two types, and it is based on how many layers are present. So let us see what it is. First one will be simple epithelial tissue. So I am using the word ENT, epithelial tissue. Simple epithelial tissue means it is single layered of cells, and this will be compound epithelial tissue. So you can understand by the name itself, this is single layered, so this will be multi-layered. Multi-layered epithelial tissue is also known as stratified epithelial tissue. Now, this classification is based on the number of layers that is present. There is another classification which is based on the shapes of the cells of the epithelial tissue, and the shapes can be, first it is flat shape, which is also known as squamous, flat. The cells are all flat type, like this. There is nucleus in the center, and as you know, they will always be sitting on a basement membrane. So this is flat type. Second is cuboidal, in which the cells are little broad, cuboid type, little broad, length and breadth is almost equal, and the nucleus will also be in the center, and they will be sitting on a basement membrane. This is cuboidal. The cells are cuboid-like. Then the third type will be columnar, where the cells are column-like. They are more tall than they are broad. They are more tall than they are broad. They are column type. So, and the nucleus will be at the lower level. Nucleus will be at the lower level, and they will again be sitting on a basement membrane. So, based on size and shape, the epithelial tissue is divided into flat or squamous epithelium, cuboidal epithelium, columnar epithelium. These three categories are there. Now, the interesting point is both these types of epithelial tissue will have these three types. That means we will have one simple flat simple squamous epithelium. We will also have compound squamous epithelium. We will have, let me take another pen. We will have simple cuboidal epithelium. We will also have compound cuboidal epithelium. And then again, we shall have simple columnar epithelium and also stratified columnar epithelium. Now, we shall see each one of them in a little details, and we will also discuss where exactly are they placed in the body. And the placing of all these type of epithelial tissue is based on the function that they are performing. Some may be giving protection, some may be secreting something, some may be excreting something, or some may be glandular, so they will be secreting. So depending on the function. So function we will talk about in a while. First let us complete the division. Now first it is divided into these two. Majority is will fall in these types only. Then there are few different types. So let us take them also. They will be different types. Will be one. Apart from this, there is pseudo stratified. Pseudo-stratified, in which the cells are pseudo-stratified epithelium, the cells are single layered, but they are of different size. They are of different size. So it feels as if their nucleus will be in different level. The nucleus will be in different level. So it feels as if they are multi-layer. It feels as if they are multi-layer, but they are single layer. Because the cells are of different size, cells are of different size, so they look as if they are multi-layered, even if they are single layered. So it is known as pseudo-stratified. Position we will know in a while. First let us finish with the names. Secondly, there is another special type which is known as transitional epithelium. This is again a special type of epithelium. Here what is happening? It is multicellular squamous type, multicellular but transitional, it means that it stretches. So if it stretches, what will happen? It will stretch and it will get thin. Multi-layered will become few layer or even one layer. So it is stretchable. It can become multi-layer, it can become unilayer as the condition demands because of its stretching ability. It stretches. So these two are unique styles. So that it is. On top of these types, we have these types of epithelium. Then one last category of epithelium, very important. They are glands. They are secretory epithelium. They lie among these epithelium only, but in a particular organ where glandular secretion is required, these glands are present. Mostly all the glands, they are epidermal tissues. They secrete different kinds of hormones, or they secrete enzymes, they secrete mucus, they secrete various kinds of substance that we shall see. We will discuss glands in details, and also we will now discuss where these epithelial tissues are placed in the body. In a brief account, we will see where they are placed according to their position, what is the placing of this organ, because these things are sometimes asked in exam. What is the location, like what kind of epithelium is found in PCT, or what kind of epithelium is found in skin, palm. So we should know what is what position these epithelium are located, or which part of body is having what type of epithelial tissue. So that we shall discuss now.